One of the things that we hear most about in spiritual communities lately, and I feel everywhere, is the narcissist. The empath and the narcissist that comes in and out of people's lives. And in the last, few years of working with clients and in my own life, I've been given many stories about people's experiences with narcissists. Now, a lot of times people think this has to do with someone who has an ego. Yes, narcissists have egos. We all do, and a lot of times their egos seem to be pretty inflated. But there's more to the narcissist than just the ego. There's the manipulation, there's the control of energy, there's the manipulation of the mind and how the person runs their life. Some of us, we were born into narcissistic families. So we end up having this cycle of narcissistic relationships, friendships, jobs, with coworkers and bosses that we never seem to get out of until we finally find that door. Many times we don't even know that is what's going on. We think there's something wrong with us. We have bad luck. We have a series of bad luck. It feels like it's never ending. And one minute life is going great, and the next minute the shoe drops. And our relationship with Source becomes that way, with the universe becomes that way. It becomes very codependent and manipulative instead of being fluid within the connection of our heart. I've had some theories throughout the years about what exactly is a narcissist, because I don't think that it's just something mental. In the shamanic terms, in many ways, in medicine, when I say medicine, I mean in the medicine of spirit. I feel that there are different types of narcissists and reasons why there is that for spiritual reasons. Some are a little bit out there. But I've decided to start a series on this because I feel that there are so many people that need help with this and understanding with this. I've done research from YouTube to going back to school and researching journals about what is narcissist. So I've done the work in the psychological department, and then I've done the work in the spiritual department as to talking to different shamans or different energy practitioners that have dealt with this too on a spiritual level. There are the psychological consequences of dealing with narcissistic people and the reason that they're like that, but there are also the spiritual, and today I want to talk about the spiritual because I don't feel that there is a lot of information on it, and I feel that there's a reason. Those that are narcissists can really fly by the radar. They're unseen and seen at the same time. Many times narcissists, you can't tell at first because they're love bombing you, right? They're charming and they know exactly what to say. They're very calculated and they know how to calculate and prey on somebody. So if you have boundaries and you're grounded, narcissists will not like you. They will find you to be an enemy. Usually put down somebody who has very good boundaries and try to get people to look at them a certain way, usually not in a very good light. So narcissists most of the time have a lot of trauma. They either come from physical abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse, I found. Those that have had sexual abuse, I usually find carrying most of the traits, the full spectrum of the narcissist, where it's the manipulation, where it's the love bombing. they are fine one moment and next they're not. It's like they turn into monsters. Depending on, and the reason I say depending on the abuse that they've dealt with, a lot of times working with people with trauma, you go back into their trauma and you find that they leave their bodies, right? And so what happens is it gives room for an attachment or an entity to take its place of where that part of you was. And so many times you'll hear someone say, they're fine one moment. You feel like, oh, that's the person I fell in love with, or that's the person I became friends with. And then it's like they turn into this whole different person. I find that people that are narcissistic have a lot of attachments and entities that are actually possessions within their body. Now, everyone has attachments. I don't think I've come across a person that doesn't, because we've all had trauma of some sort, whether it's big or small. And dealing with the narcissist, usually these are people that left their bodies, made a contract with whatever is in their body for safety. And when people think they're actually dealing with a person who's narcissistic, they're actually dealing with their entities. They're actually dealing with the possessions in their body. So this is why many times healing someone that is narcissistic is very difficult, because you're not working on them. You're working on what's inside their body. And you normally don't have permission to work on what's inside their body. That is one situation. There's more, and I think as time goes, I'll be revealing a little bit more as information comes in. I've been sitting with this for a while, and it's one of those things that, a lot of people feel trapped within the narcissistic energy and manipulation, to where they feel physically ill afterwards. They're losing friends and family and clients and money. And it's like they lose a part of themselves to this person. So for this healing, what we want to do is bring you back. What part of you gave yourself away? What part of you made a contract with that narcissist entity? If I find too that a lot of these entities come in different forms, and a lot of times they are spirits that have gone away from who they are as sovereign beings. So they have to feed off of the light of others in order to stay alive. And so what we want to do is detach you from that, clear your contracts with them, bring you back into your body, but also send these spirits home, because in the end, they're still spirits, they're still sovereign, but they've lost their way. And so we need to send them home. Now, does this fix the issue with the narcissist? No, not quite. That a lot of times people are not ready to let go of their quote unquote entities, because they offer that person protection. And so that person is going to want to have that healing. That person is going to want to have to let go of that protection in order to know that they're protected by their own being. And a lot would ask, well, if we were already sovereign, or we were already connected to our own being, how did trauma happen? And that I don't have an answer for yet. It's something that I have been sitting with myself, asking questions. As anyone knows, they know I ask a lot of questions. But there's a reason for that. But today we're going to start here. We're going to start to bring you back into your body and detached from these people's energies and manipulations, so you can think for yourself again. clearing those illusions. If you've been in a narcissistic family since you were born, you're going to find that your view of the world is very limited, and you will find that you have a hard time trusting people. You will find that your radar can be a little bit off. You will find that it can be hard to tell between who is a person that comes from their heart and who's a predator, because you have had to live in that predatory environment for so long that you shut off. So bringing you back in a way that helps you have clarity and helps you feel safe in seeing what has transpired in your life. So what I want you to do is just take a moment to take a deep breath, connect to your heart, and I want you to connect to your sovereign heart. We want you to connect to your sacred heart. We want you to connect to that piece of you that is not your emotional heart, right? Not the part that carries the fears and all the emotions, but that part of you that is your being. They're also showing me you can connect to your solar plexus chakra. So behind the belly button, there's a space too that connects you to your soul family and your star lineage. So if heart is really hard for you, connect that way. So what we're going to do is begin this healing of bringing you back to your sovereign heart, they say. Bringing you back into your sovereign energy, which has never left you, but we are reconnecting you. You're reconnecting yourself. Please do not listen to this healing while you're driving or operating any heavy machinery, as you may get sleepy. If you get sleepy at times, you might be fighting something within yourself, some resistance. So you can do deep breaths to help move through that. And as this healing has begun, I'm asking Mother Earth to also facilitate this. She helps to ground you where you dissolve the illusions of your past. This is why a lot of times people have a hard time grounding. People have a hard time connecting to the earth, because the earth is a keeper of truth, and she will help you see your truth, and she will help you dissolve the illusions. Now, for your entities, they don't like that. Why? Because if you see the truth, you won't need them and won't be feeding them your light, which is what they need to survive. If you see your truth, you will see your own power and know that you don't need to give your power away, and you don't need to take your power from anywhere else, because you are your own generator. You are your own source of power. Your guides, the angels, the masters, these are just support systems for you. They are not there to do your job. They are not there to make you heal. They are there to support you through your process. They're not there either to wave a magic wand for you to be magically healed. Because if you still believe in your illusions, then you're not truly healing. If you still believe in the old programming of who you are and in the world, then the job is not done, is what I hear. The earth knows how to lead you back to yourself. Many of us are remembering who we are. And as we awaken to that, it can be a little bit shocking. as we cut the ties to our codependent relationships, and connections, whether it's in human form or not, then we find ourselves sometimes asking ourselves, who are we without that? If you've been in abusive relationships, if you've grown up in an abusive environment, and especially with narcissistic people, you will find that it is hard to think for yourself because you haven't had the chance to do that. You haven't been able to given the chance, or you haven't been given the chance to really be on your own. So many times when people heal, and this is why they have a hard time doing that, and the energy is still running as I'm talking, FYI, is they will see their relationships around them for what it is. It's not always a bad thing, because sometimes we have amazing people in our life, but we realize that, it's time to move on. So a lot of times people will heal and move on from jobs. They'll move on from, different professions that they've been in, from friendships, from, relationships, from marriages. Sometimes it's just time. Not because it's anything bad, not because the person's horrible, not because the job is horrible, or not because the friendship is horrible. Sometimes we change and we shift so much that it's time to move on. It's time to move forward. And sometimes it is toxic. Sometimes it's sandbags in our lives that don't allow us to fly. And then sometimes we're led to situations and people that help us see the truth within ourselves. They help us fly. They don't do the work for us, but they heal us or help us heal in a way that frees us. That helps us come into our power in a way that is fluid. Everyone has their place in our life. And even those that have been in narcissistic relationships or been in abuse know that a lot of times those situations have pushed us to heal in many ways, to find that door and to find freedom. So what we want you to do is take another deep breath into your solar plexus chakra, into your belly, as we're going to begin disconnecting. When you find the truth of yourself, and that comes in layers, not at once, because it's a shocking process. But when you start to come back into yourself and really begin to reveal who you are and discover who that is behind who you've been told to be, give yourself some time to grieve as well. But know that you're given the chance to find your wings in this life. Know that it's okay to walk away. Know that you don't owe anything to anybody. Every day is a new day, and we could have a chance to do what we didn't get to do the day before. step by step. And, this is a reminder too that with healing comes responsibility. And if you are in a not so good relationship or situation, please seek help. There are many ways to do that, but don't stay stuck. Don't stay in the shadow of somebody else or under the control of somebody else because you don't think you have a way out. There's always a way out. And sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes a process and a journey to find your way out or to completely close that door, but know that the options are there. Finding yourself a good support system, and that support system will change as you heal. But finding people that are solid is important. If you're in a situation where you're being isolated, I feel it's very important that you do seek professional help to find a way out, and also safe place. Because a lot of times people that are narcissistic will make it to where they manipulate you to believe that you will never find a way out, that you will always need them, or there are not any other options other than the options that they give you. And that is not true. So taking another deep breath into your solar plexus again. Connecting into the earth in a really safe way. Knowing that as you clear your contracts with these beings that you feel have been protecting you, or you coming back into your body, we ask that it be done in a way where the solutions also be given to you. That you'd be shown how to be protected in a balanced way, in your power, and knowing that you are safe and how you can be safe. Feeling yourself in the womb of Mother Earth as this integrates. And I hear her say, coming home to you. Reveal yourself, discover yourself, step by step. Thank you for being here today and listening and showing up for yourself. And knowing that as healing can be uncomfortable sometimes, and it can bring up a lot of emotions, things that we've shut off, know that it's just part of the journey and it won't always be that way. But avoiding it doesn't stop it. Avoiding it just prolongs your healing and it just pushes it back. So finding ways to find acceptance to that and love towards your healing process lessens the blow a bit. Even if we do feel the emotions, you don't have to stay there. But learning to walk through them. And with that, we complete this healing and disconnect. Bringing yourself back into your body. and the energy of water coming through to disconnect if anything has been attached. Thank you for being here today, and have a great day.